right, welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine. Today's subject is going to be a little bit around the world here. We're going to be talking about a few different subjects here, mainly politics here. We want to look at government and how government should work for the people. We're going to take a pause here for the calls, and then we'll be right back and we'll say a brief prayer and we'll get it on.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright. Here, for instance, we can see Mike Rowe doing what he loves to do. And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
H&H Financial Services in Mobile has over 20 years experience in accounting, bookkeeping, appraisals, real estate, and year-round tax preparations. Give them a call today at 251-438-1620.
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
All right, we are back with Rise and Shine. Thank you for being with us today. Here, where we're going to be talking about government and how it should work for the people. We're going to start off with a brief prayer here, and then we'll get into this subject. With God's name, the merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer, Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone do we beseech for aid. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom Thou hast bestowed Thy grace, those whose portion is not wrath and who go not astray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Brother Steve, we recently lost, I think, Judge Ginsburg. We want to send out our condolences to her family. And I think a month or so ago, we lost Representative John Lewis. And a year ago, we lost, I think, a few years ago, we lost Senator McCain. So we've lost a lot in our federal political offices, in our federal offices of politics. And I notice when these things happen, two things come up most of the time. It's term limits and when a person, if the president has less than a year left on his term, should he appoint someone to fill a vacancy in like the Supreme Court, which is a lifetime appointment. That's the only one that term limits does not apply to. In the Supreme Court, you have 9 justices, and it's supposed to be for a lifetime. So I guess the main question there is people on different sides of the coin. Should the president nominate someone with less than a year left in their term? And of course, everyone likes to point to recent history and say that when President Obama appointed someone with 9 months left on his term, he was blocked. Now we're going to have a situation where President Trump will probably appoint someone, and will this person be blocked or will this person be approved?
Well, they say the only constant in life is change, and as we progress through life, we're going to be getting a lot of changes. Now, there's a different, I believe, than a change for the good and hypocrisy, and we can probably talk about that subject on hypocrisy another day, but we shouldn't be a hypocrite because most scriptures that I read have a warning for hypocrites. And hypocrites who say one thing but actually mean something else. So we know that there's going to be changes in life, but there should be changes that should be good for the people.
Well, I would say one of the beautiful things about the media today is if you say something in 2016 and change your mind in 2019, or say something in 2018 and you change your mind in 2020 or 2021, you're definitely going to get called out on it, and that would be hypocritical if you say in 2018 or 2016 we should wait for the next administration to appoint, but in 2020 you say let's go ahead and appoint someone now. But now I have to say that in politics, the times it's been done in the past is any time that there's a senator house that's a majority same as the president, then an appointment is going to be made. And any time that the Senate majority is different than the president, the appointment may be made, but it will be blocked. So I think that's just one of those things where you got to put your big pants on and says, you know, it's not going to be, you're not going to shame someone in not appointing someone. If their party is in power, they're going to shove that power down your throat and make that appointment.
Well, and I think that's the problem with, as you say, politics today, is we put party over the people. And I believe that government should do what's best for its citizens, its people. And today we don't see that that's happening. What's good for the people, we put the party over. What's good for the party? It doesn't matter whether the people suffer or die, is injured by what is good for a party. But that's the wrong type of government that we should have for this.
Brother, I say now I disagree with you on a little bit of this. I'll say that if we look at history, we'll see that 29 times, I want to say, and check my facts, I think 29 times this has happened. And in the 29 times where it has happened, the times where an appointment has been made and pushed on through, it's been the same party in the Senate. But a good friend of mine once told me that he was doing a Cash App, and he had put $195. They were doing like a trial thing with $195, and it was basically stolen. But he didn't get upset because he realized how electronic fraud works, and it's wrong. But sometimes you say it's a bought lesson, and you move on without spending a lot of energy on it.
Well, you know, there's another story that I tell. A man who got caught by his wife kissing another woman. He was cheating on his wife. And when his wife caught him, he asked her, he said, "Who do you believe, me or these lying eyes of yours?" See, we can make things fit, as they say that if it fits on the lip, we can make it fit. So we have to watch what we say. If we're going to talk about government being good for the people, or we're going to talk about how we can change things just to benefit us. In other words, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. I don't think that's a good attitude to take, and we take that when we start taking party position.
Well,
we should be looking at freedom, justice, and equality for all of the citizens of America, and really all of the humans on the earth.
And Brother Hasib, I do agree with you on that, and I hope you don't punch me in the lip because we disagree on some of the things. But however, all I'm saying is, if you're in a situation where your party is not in control, such as it is today for my political party and for your political party, then sometimes you got to accept your lumps and bruises because, you know, it is the way it is. I mean, if you don't have the control of the presidency and you don't have control of the Senate, there's a price to pay. And just because there's a price to pay doesn't mean it was wrong. It doesn't mean it was right. I mean, obviously, we would like to see some kind of consistency, but really there is consistency. If the president was Republican and the Senate was Democrat, there would be consistency of blockage. But since the Republicans run the House, the Senate, and has the White House, then there's going to be some things that are not going to be palatable to the Democratic Party.
And even though I say the only constant is change, we can't change the rule every time they just benefit us. In other words, if the rule benefit me not to do it today, then that's the rule. But if it benefits me tomorrow, then I change the rule.
Hold on.
Now that's not justice. That's not right. I mean, it's sort of like that. You go to a store, and you go there, and they charge you one price. And when I go there, they charge me another.
Well, now you've been messing.
And now it's based on what party that I belong to. That's not right.
Yeah.
And when we look at government should be for the good of the people. The Constitution said the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We've changed that today. Now it's the government of the party, whatever party. We talk too much about party. When I was coming up, we had basically the two-party system that we have now, the Democrats and the Republicans, who was the two major parties. But after the election was over with, the parties, the elected representative, they got together to see what was best and debated what was best for the people. Now, your philosophy may be one thing that you think is best for the people, and mine may be something different, but at least we were trying to look at what was best for the people. Now we look at what's best for me.
Well, I would say that, and we'll take a quick break after this thought, but now we have three parties. We have the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and the party of Trump. So we're going to take a break for this, and we'll be right back at these important messages. I'm chiropractor Dr. James Gordon at 476 Payne. I've traveled recently. I've been poked, swabbed, wiped, steamed, temperatured more times than I can count. I'm happy to report I'm COVID-19 free. Now, if you're hurting after a fall, or motorcycle, a big truck, or car smash, I'm waiting for you. Come see me at the Alabama Injury and Pain Clinic at 476 Payne. The choice is yours.
I was the lead gunner of the convoy that we had. While I was suppressing fire, I felt a flick on my upper biceps area. Right after my recovery, I had to find myself again and see what else I could do to continue my selfless service. Having an organization like the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, putting me back into working with wounded troops helped me to process my injury. I'm Sergeant Mary Herrera, and my alive date was November 8th, 2003.
For more information, visit saluteheroes.org.
Princess Creative Productions can provide affordable and professional video services for small to mid-sized businesses. Our in-studio virtual set shoots start as low as $200. Let our expert get to work on your next video project. Call 251-421-4490 to book your next shoot.
All right, welcome back. We're back with the subject of talking about government and what's good for the people. And in government, we have politics. And we know in politics, we have party and party affiliation. So we're trying to see what should be our commitment. Should it be for the people or should it be for just the party?
And I want to say that, again, we'll renew our condolences to the family of Judge Ginsburg, who passed, and that's what really sparked this conversation. Is it good for President Trump to make it a nominee within the last few months of his administration before being re-elected or out of office, as it was for President Obama? Brother Hasib, I do want to say one thought. How far back should we go to look at a precedent? When we say if it's not practice. See, you spoke on it not being a common practice or not being routine. So exactly where's the line you go? How far back are you going in American history to see this practice?
All right, when I look at what we have been through as a people, there was one time, and we've heard the stories. At one time, in order to get the right to vote, when you went to register or try to exercise that right, you would be asked to recite the Constitution. And the people who were asking you didn't know how to recite the Constitution. You were asked to give the number of marbles that was in a jar, or the number of jelly beans. The rules cannot keep changing every time we try. When I go vote, this time is count the marbles. Well, I missed it. So then I go back the next time, or if I get the marbles right, they're going to come up with something else. Recite the Constitution backwards. We can't keep changing rules, Doc, just to fit our individual or our party affiliation. That's wrong. We got to do what's good for the American people and what's right, what's just, and that's good for everybody.
And Brother Hasib, I agree with you on that. But I think the biggest problem we have with black and white folk today and all the other races in between is we get too emotional. We want to make things personal. The problem we have is if we look at precedent, if we look at what's happened in the past and measure our response today by history, we will realize that that President Trump is trying to do by nominating a judge, it may not be palatable to me, but it's not for me to say. What he is doing has been done since the start of our country. George Washington was the first. So look back in history. George Washington, in his last year in office, had to appoint a Supreme Court justice. And so we got to go back to the first president to see that he did it. And then the 29 times that did it, the only times that it didn't work was when you had a split House, when you had a Senate that was different from the presidency, which is obviously not going to work. I mean, there again, you just got to accept, you got to put your big boy cloak pants on and say, hey, if we got the Senate and we got the presidency, we're going to get this thing through. And if we don't have the Senate and don't have the presidency, we ain't gonna get it through. I mean, I don't even understand why people get upset about it.
That's what I mean by party. We put party over
since the beginning of the country.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because you're saying, well, you want to go back to George Washington and say he did it wrong?
You know, it said when I was going to school, they used to teach us say George Washington. I think that was George Washington. He cut down a cherry tree.
No, George Washington. George Washington. Cherry tree.
He cut down a cherry tree, and used to teach us that George Washington didn't lie. But now I see you bringing in some new history.
No, it's not. It's not new history. It's not new history. I'm just saying that if it's a practice, if it happened 29 presidents before, we only had 45 presidents, right? So
yes.
if 29 of the 45 presidents each appointed someone in their last year, you can't say what Trump is doing is new, because there's nothing new about what he's doing.
Oh no, corruption in government is definitely not new.
Okay, but here's the thought.
Corruption in government all of our life.
When the Democrats did it, was it corrupt then? Well, if the Democrats had the Senate and the Democrats appointed, because it happened on the Democratic side too. So were they corrupt when they did it?
What we have to look at is whether
we gotta be consistent.
Are right or wrong. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter what party.
But it does. Y'all
if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Here's the thing. This election, people are so focused on the personality. You get one party will say, hey, hate this guy, vote for me. And the other party will say, well, whatever. It's like, wait a minute, why don't we say what we're going to do for the people? And here's the thing with Judge Ginsburg. When she passed, it left a vacancy. And then what has happened in the past? Well, out of the 45 times, is 29 out of 45 the majority? I would say that it is. So more times than not, it has been done, someone has been appointed within the last months of a person's administration. But to us to just attach our own reality to it, our own facts, we're not entitled to our own facts. The facts are the facts.
Well, I do understand what you say, but this is why in all of the scriptures, especially the three major scriptures, the scriptures of the Jews, the scriptures of the Christians, and the scriptures of the Muslim, all address the fact of hypocrisy. Why do it address the fact? Because the scripture knew that there would be hypocrites in the society that we have to deal with. Yeah. And we have to deal with the hypocrisy of things that's happening. The things that happen to us here in America as African American or any people. It shouldn't happen to us, nor should it happen to any other people, race, creed, color, wherever they come from. We can't say slavery was right because it was us. Now if we enslave another people, then it's wrong. It can't change. It's right for one and wrong for another. It's either right for all or it's wrong for all.
And I agree with you on the emotional aspect of it, on the palatable aspect of it, but factually speaking,
how they do things.
The facts. It's like with term limits. You know, we talk about term limits, and that'll be a good show for another time. But if we talk about term limits, you want to blame the politician, but it's the people who votes the politician in.
Well, I agree. The people should be, and that's what it should be. It should be the people's choice rather than just the party's choice. So you're right. You just answered your own question there.
You're right.
And say it should always be the people's choice. Now, of course, we know history have said that people have made some bad choices, and we have seen how we have.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. You can't blame their choice on that bad. If it's their choice,
we have seen it. We see all the choices that we made as a people wasn't good for us as a people. But we've seen that with
if you're on the losing side, like I'm on the losing side many times, it doesn't mean that they that you made a bad choice. It just means that you're on the winning side and I'm on the losing side.
Well, if all of us suffer because of the choices, maybe the majority, then it's a bad choice. Now,
there again, that doesn't even make sense.
Well, you know, sometimes you can look at things as how I personally benefited, and if I benefit and you lost, and that's the thing about me, Doc, is I don't want my success to be off of your failures. And there's a lot of people who do. You got to.
So wait a minute. We're playing a football game, and you're ahead, You gonna give me the touchdown that you just got because it's gonna make you ahead of me?
No, I'm saying I understand winners and losers. There's always going to be some that are winners and some that lose. But that don't mean that the losers we should abuse them if they lose. Like in the old days, in the Roman days, this is what they used to do.
They kill the loser.
Right. The loser, they would kill the loser, and we implementing the same thing today in politics.
Well, I don't see it that way. I see that the loser. I see that there are consequences, and I think the loser loses. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, if you didn't motivate your people to do what they're supposed to do, and you're on the losing side, then there's certain rights that you just don't have, certain things you don't have. Surely we all should be able to eat at the table. We all should be able to eat. But at the end of the day, the winner is going to benefit more than the loser, just like it is in our sports, just like it is in our politics, just like it is in life. A person in business benefits more than a person who went to sleep on it and go to business.
Those are some things that happen naturally in life, and we understand nature.
So we accept that.
Well, yes.
Just like we accept the president making a nomination because he got the.
I'm saying it can't be hypocritical.
How's it hypocritical?
The scripture does not address a hypocrite because it does not exist.
Just because you said it's hypocritical, don't make it hypocritical.
No, but I'm saying it's not. I'm just saying the principle of hypocrisy is not addressed in scriptures and other places because it doesn't exist.
You can't.
So if it does,
you can't just make up something and make it hypocrisy.
No,
it is hypocrisy if I say in 2018 it shouldn't be done, in 2020 I say it should be done. But that's hypocrisy on that one person's point.
Right.
But the facts are, for the nation's history, for the United States of America's history, for 29 times out of the 45 people who served, this hypocrisy, as you call it, has taken place.
Right. Well, and that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right. You said, hey, in other words,
right.
I lied to you yesterday. It's okay for me to lie to you today. That doesn't make it right. What is a hypocrite? That's what we have to look at.
A hypocrite is someone that says left today and right tomorrow.
No, hypocrisy is this. If I know something is the truth and I deliberately lie to you,
that's lying.
Then that's
that's lying. No, it's not. It's hypocrisy. If you say, if Haseeb says on Monday, I want red and I don't like blue, and on Tuesday he say I like blue and I don't like red, that's lying too, but that's hypocrisy. He's changing his tune. He's changing his tune.
And I guess hypocrisy is lying.
But at the end of the day,
that is hypocrisy.
At the end of the day, so you're saying that President Trump said that he would not appoint someone in his last year of his administration, and then President Trump did appoint someone his last year.
Well,
but that's hypocrisy because he's the only one making the appointment. Now, if the Senate who's voting on it, they can be hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy is if I know the truth,
we lost,
and I tell you something different to lead you down the wrong path.
We lost,
and then when it comes to actually fulfilling what I say,
did I mention we lost?
My mind.
We lost the race. I see.
No, it doesn't matter.
I see.
Like you
there's
said,
got to be a cost to pay for losing the race.
No, but you said we got the Senate. We got people in the Senate that made these statements that they are hypocrites.
If they vote, if they vote for it, they are. If they vote for it, they are.
They are hypocrites.
But does that still mean we lost? Does that mean we won all of a sudden?
Hypocrisy is wrong. It doesn't matter who.
How do we come out? Do we still lose or do we win?
It doesn't matter who lost or win. Hypocrisy is hypocrisy. It don't have anything to do with
why are we wasting energy on it if someone's going to be a hypocrite, if a senator is going to be a hypocrite, and we lose with his hypocrisy? Why waste energy?
Let his hypocrisy stand, is what you said.
Yeah. I mean,
you should fight against the hypocrisy.
Isn't there other battles? Are there other battles?
Yes, there may be a lot of battles, but the battle of hypocrisy should have some relevance to what is being said and done. And you saying, in other words,
hold on a second.
Let's go fight something else.
Okay, this Republican senator.
Well, we did this.
Hold on a second. This Republican senator who's against Obama making an appointment is hypocrite because now he's for President Trump making an appointment. Hold on a second. I'm saying, but the senator now that's going to make the vote for the new judge to place Justice Ginsburg. All of a sudden, we should worry about that and waste energy on this, even if we don't have a way to change it. It is what it is.
Look here, people have died people have marched.
On both sides.
People, yeah, on both sides, but people have marched and died.
Amen.
For us to have freedom. We've had our military that the hypocrisy of that. We don't have to talk about that in the show, but we know what
that's
it's
no.
saying.
You know what? That's a whole other sore subject.
That's a whole nother,
because back in the day, back in the
day.
day, you had military guys, veterans who served in politics. Now they say my father served, my brother served, my sister served. Did you serve? No, I didn't serve.
Well,
my brother served. I served. I carried the gun. Okay, I was in the battles.
Right.
Small battles, mind you, but I was in the battle nonetheless. But don't lean on the military to those hypocrites in the Senate and running for office and the House of Representatives and the House of Representatives.
We got hypocrites in the Senate
and saying that my brother did or my sister did because you didn't do. You can lean on it's like you could have joined yourself. But you say your family joined as if you joined. If you join, that's good. Now we got some guys who have served, but if you haven't served, quit trying to lean on a cousin's, father's, uncle's, sister's, friend that you knew who served, and talk about with your service.
Well, you know, when it comes to the military, and I had, and I'm sure all of us, when it come down to it, had some relatives, whether they were cousins,
friends, friend of a neighbor,
that we are proud of. That we can
we're proud of all of them.
You know, my uncle. You know, maybe he got a medal, or maybe he gave his life for this country, and we are proud of that. Even though we didn't personally say because he gave his life, I got to go.
Well, back in the day, we did. Back in the day, we did. Back our politicians of the past did say.
Yeah.
And some of our politicians today say. And I think that's the better way to have it. Is I serve.
Well, you know.
And instead of saying that, hey, my neighbor's cousin's aunt, sister served, vote for me.
Well, you know, and we're going to have that. Now, we do have some people in leadership now that has told their children if they go and serve, they would disown them as a family. So, you know, we got all of that. So at least they need a cousin or somebody.
You can't make up your facts. You can't you're not entitled to making up facts. That's just not fair. That's not fair. If you got it on tape, if it's on tape, there's one. No, it's a lot of lies out here.
He didn't serve. His children didn't serve.
And most people did. Most people in office today didn't serve. Most people didn't serve.
Well,
most people sadly didn't.
I think our military people who give their life and make sacrifice. I think if you join, I think that's an honorable thing, and I don't think that you are stupid or silly if you go and join.
And I'm sure that if anybody ever said that, I'm sure there would be a tape of such as that. And since we haven't heard of tape, there's a lot of claims. Now, I would say that congratulations on the Republicans for your appointment of the justice. Good luck on pushing it through. And when the Democrats are in control of the Senate and the presidency, we'll be doing the same thing, even though it would be hypocritical because if we're not in control, we're fussing about it. But if we're in control, it's good. So, Brother Hasib, let's wrap this one up.
Well, would you say this, Doc?
Stay tuned. Join us next week for another edition of Rise and Shine. Thank you.
We'll see you then.